I never thought much of it at first. When she looked at me, there was something electric in her gaze, something that made me feel wanted, needed, even powerful. Most people crave attention, and I was no different. But with her, it wasn't just attention, it was hunger. At the beginning, it was intoxicating. She memorized the way I laughed, the way I moved, the way I spoke. She always wanted to be near me, always reaching out too much, but I told myself it was passion. Who wouldn't want someone to look at them like they were the only person in the world? But there's a thin line between passion and possession, and slowly, I started realizing she wasn't just in love with me. She was consumed by me. Asterisk at first, her attention felt like a gift. She texted me good morning before the sun was up. She memorized my schedule better than I did. She even showed up at places I hadn't told her I was going, laughing it off, saying I just had a feeling you'd be here. I brushed it aside. Maybe she just cared too much. Maybe this was what love was supposed to feel like, overwhelming, all-consuming. But then it started to shift. Her questions turned sharper. Who were you with? Why didn't you answer right away? Why did she smile at you like that? At first, it was playful. Then it wasn, single quotes, her tone carried an edge. A demand, like every answer could decide whether the night ended in laughter or in silence thick enough to choke me. And I realized something terrifying. She didn't just want me. She wanted all of me, every second, every thought, every breath, and when I tried to pull away just a little, I saw something flicker in her eyes. Not sadness, not fear, something darker, like if she couldn't have me completely, she'd rather destroy me. This is where you'd end the YouTube episode, with a pause plus dramatic text on screen. But that was only the beginning. Her obsession hadn't even reached its peak. Asterisk at first, her attention felt like a gift. She texted me good morning before the sun was up. She memorized my schedule better than I did. She even showed up at places I hadn't told her I was going, laughing it off, saying I just had a feeling you'd be here. I brushed it aside. Maybe she just cared too much. Maybe this was what love was supposed to feel like, overwhelming, all-consuming. But then it started to shift. Her questions turned sharper. Who were you with? Why didn't you answer right away? Why did she smile at you like that? At first, it was playful. Then it wasn, single quotes, her tone carried an edge. A demand, like every answer could decide whether the night ended in laughter or in silence thick enough to choke me. And I realized something terrifying. She didn't just want me. She wanted all of me, every second, every thought, every breath, and when I tried to pull away just a little, I saw something flicker in her eyes. Not sadness, not fear, something darker, like if she couldn't have me completely, she'd rather destroy me. This is where you'd end the YouTube episode, with a pause plus dramatic text on screen. But that was only the beginning. Her obsession hadn't even reached its peak. Asterisk the next day. Things got worse. Asterisk the next morning. I woke up groggy, my head heavy, my chest tight. And then I saw it. On my desk beside my laptops sat a small object. A folded note. I didn't put it there. My hand shook as I picked it up. The paper smelled faintly of perfume, the same one she always wore. The note said, "You looked peaceful while you slept. Don't worry, I'll always protect you." My blood ran cold. She had been here. In my room while I was asleep, I checked the door. It was still locked. The windows, too. No signs of a break-in, but the note was real. I tore through the room, searching for anything else she might have left behind. That's when I saw it. On the nightstand, next to my bed, was a single strand of long hair. Not mine. Hers. My stomach dropped. How did she get in? How long had she been here? And what else had she done while I slept? I wanted to call anyone, but my phone buzzed again. A message. From her, "I hope you liked my little surprise. Tonight will be even better." That's when I realized Dia wasn't safe in my own home anymore. Asterisk. I couldn't think straight after finding that note. Every sound in the house made me jump. Every creak in the floorboards felt like footsteps that weren't mine by the time night fell. I knew one thing for sure. I couldn't let this go on, so I made a plan. I set my phone on silent, propped up against a stack of books, recording video on the lowest brightness. I positioned it to face my bedroom door. If she came in again, I'd know. I even left the light off, pretending to sleep, but my eyes stayed open in the dark. My heart pounded so hard I thought she might hear it. Minutes passed, then hours. The silence grew heavier, pressing against my chest. I almost convinced myself she wouldn't come until I heard it. The faint, deliberate sound of a key turning. I froze, slow, careful. My locked door easing open like someone had done it 1,000 times. The shadows shifted. My curtain fluttered slightly as the air moved. And then she stepped inside. She was barefoot, her hair hanging loose, her face lit faintly by the glow of the streetlight seeping through the window. In her hand, she held something small, metallic. I couldn't see what. I lay perfectly still, pretending to sleep, my body stiff as stone. She moved closer. I could hear her breathing, now steady, almost calm. She crouched by my bed. And then, gently, she touched my blanket, running her fingers over the fabric like it belonged to her. My stomach twisted. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But I couldn't. Not yet. Then she whispered, soft, almost tender. "You don't know how lucky you are. Someday, you'll understand." I bit my tongue to stop it from trembling. I didn't move, didn't breathe too loud. I just prayed my phone was capturing everything. She stayed there for what felt like forever, just watching me sleep. Sometimes smiling, sometimes tilting her head like she was studying a painting. And then, just as quietly as she came, she stood up, walked out, and shut the door behind her. The silence that followed was unbearable. When I finally checked my phone, my heart dropped. The video was there, but the screen was black. Somehow, the camera had stopped recording minutes before she entered. No proof. Just me, alone, with a stranger who somehow held the keys to my room and to my life. And then my phone buzzed. A new message. "I know what you tried to do, but you'll never catch me. Sweet dreams." That's when I realized she wasn't just obsessed. She was always one step ahead. Asterisk, tomorrow night. I fight back. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? She had been inches away from me, whispering in the dark. And the only evidence I had vanished like smoke. By morning, I wasn't just scared. I was angry, so I decided to stop being prey. I bought a cheap, motion-activated camera, small enough to hide in plain sight. This time, no tricks. No chance for the footage to mysteriously disappear. I set it up near my desk, angled at the door. Then, just in case, I hid another one inside a shoebox with a tiny hole cut out. If she came back, I'd know. But paranoia eats at you. Every knock at the door, every shadow on the street made my skin crawl. I started avoiding people, jumping at sounds. Even my friends noticed I was off, but I couldn't tell them. Who would believe me? My stalker girlfriend sneaks into my room at night sounds like a bad movie. Not real life. That night, I staged the same scene. Pretend sleep. Lights off. But this time, my hand clutched a baseball bat under the covers. The hours dragged. Nothing. Then not. Exactly 2:13 a.m., the door eased open again. My pulse roared in my ears. She stepped inside, barefoot like before, but this time, She was carrying something. A small silver blade. Not a kitchen knife. Something sharper, cleaner. She walked straight to my bed, her eyes glowing faintly in the streetlight. Her lips curved in a soft smile. I held my breath as she leaned down so close. I could feel the warmth of her breath on my cheek. Then she raised the blade, not toward me. Toward the nightstand, she carved something slow and deliberate into the wood. Scraping sounds echoed in the silence. My chest tightened with every second. When she finally stepped back, I saw it. A single word etched into the wood. Mine. I almost broke then. Almost leaped up and swung the bat. But something inside me screamed to wait, to let her think she still had control. She stood there a moment longer, watching me, smiling. Then, like before, she slipped out into the night. As soon as the door clicked shut, I sat up, gasping for air. My hands shook as I grabbed the hidden camera. I rewound the footage, desperate, and finally, dash-proof, she was there, clear as day. The knife. The carving. The whispering presence that haunted my nights. For a moment, I felt relief, but then my phone buzzed. A message: you shouldn't have done that. Cameras won't save you. I see more than you think. My blood turned to ice. How did she know? Was she watching me? Right now? Asterisk the next night, I waited camera on, bat ready. But she never came. Instead, at 3 a.m., my phone lit up. A single photo, me, asleep in my bed, taken from inches away. And beneath it, one message: told you. You're mine.